Hi y'all, my name is Amy. I am a reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and a couple other platforms. I have not done a YouTube video in about, 3 years? So bear with me, and I'm also rather new to it. I've only done 2 in the past. I find that I gravitate towards other resellers' what sold videos. There's something that's easy to watch in the background, take note of what's selling currently, what's selling for what amount, how quickly it's selling, etc. Because then next time I go to the thrift store, consignment store, wherever, I feel like I have more knowledge and a better idea of things to look out for. So I am going to do what sold for $50 or more over the summer. So for summer, I'm including May, June, July, and then August up until today, which is the 16th of August. So without further ado, let's get started. I am going to sort these in order of price sold, and then I'll include how many days it took to sell, the profit that I made. I realize that that is objective because everyone could pay different amounts for these items, but I thought it could give a good idea of whether I overpaid or underpaid for an item. And when I say underpaid, I mean I just got it for a good deal and made a good profit, and there's room for someone to pay a little bit more and still make a good profit. So I have 31 items. Let's start. Number 1 is a pair of Tory Burch Mino leather platform wedges. I listed them in March. They sold in May, so they took 66 days to sell. They sold for $50 even. I did pay up for these. I paid $30, so I ended up only making a profit of $10. In hindsight, I would pay less for them, but $10 profit is not exactly worth my time. Number 2 is a new with tags Free People shirt. It's the Angel Tee and the color is Sweetwater Combo. I listed it June 1st. It sold July 22nd, so it took 51 days to sell. I generally consider anything that's under 90 days good. Obviously, I'd prefer it to sell quicker than that, but that's usually my goal, is 90 days or less. It sold for $50 even. I paid $9.50, so I made a profit of $30.50. Number 3 are these Naturalizer Boots. They are ankle boots. The style is Dina, and they had a black leather upper. I listed these June 14th. They sold June 24th. So only 10 days to sell, which was great. They sold for $50 even, and I had paid $8.44. These were in like new condition. They appeared to never be worn. And I made a profit of $31.56. Number 4 is this Sundance dress, which previously I had kind of just passed over Sundance, but the cost of goods was rather low for this item, so I definitely took my time, looked up comps, ended up getting it. This style is the Faye style. It's a floral maxi dress, and I listed it on June 15th and it sold June 16th, so just 1 day to sell. It sold for $50 even. I paid $8, so I made a profit of $32. Another dress that I got at the same time, it was also Sundance. It was the style Lace Making Memories. It's a maxi dress. I didn't include it because it sold for $42. However, again, I paid $8, so it still brought me a decent profit of $25.60. So definitely don't sleep on Sundance. It's worth checking comps if it seems like maybe a popular in-trend style. Number 5 is this new with tags Free People top. It is the Nina style, and the colorway is the Midnight Combo. This was a very like retro 70s style that I loved. I listed it on June 1st and it sold August 9th, so it took 69 days to sell. It wasn't getting much attention. I had it priced a little high, so I changed it maybe a couple days before it sold, just dropped the price, and then it did sell quickly after that. It sold for $51 via offer. I paid $9.50, so I made a profit of $31.30. Next up are these new without tags, new without box Saludos. The style is Minorca, and they are these white espadrille sandals. I listed them in the winter time. I listed them on Christmas, actually. It was December 25th of 21, and they sold June 7th of 22. So they did take a while, 164 days. They sold for $54. I paid $16.15. So I made a profit of $25.33. Next up is a new turban. It is by the brand Naked Cashmere, so it was 100% cashmere, and the style was the Rhea turban. I listed it in May, so in the summer months, May 20th, and it sold May 31st, so just 11 days, which was great. It sold for $54. I had paid $5.98. So I made a profit of $35.50. So that was a great sale. I know anything cashmere tends to do well, even turbans. Next up, this is a dress that I bought at the same time as the Sundance dresses. It is this Athleta Rincon mini dress in plum. It was from 2019, so a little bit more recent of a style. I listed it on June 17th and it sold same day, which was great. So it sold in 0 days. It sold for $55. I had paid $8, so I made a profit of $36. Then is this new with tag French Connection dress. This was a liquidation find. It is the Whisper style. It's a sheath mini dress. I listed it on June 16th. It sold June 23rd, so just 7 days, not bad. It sold for $57.55, including shipping on eBay. I had paid $18, so I made a profit of $25.75. I did make sure to include keywords like bridal party in this, just because it's kind of a classic white dress. It also had like a square neckline, so some trendier features. Next up are these Madewell Cali denim button fly boot jeans. These did take much longer than I expected. I am thinking it's probably because of the way that I priced them. I probably priced them too high. They weren't getting enough attention. I didn't really watch them to see the attention that they were getting, so they didn't get relisted for a while. And so I had listed them January 8th and they sold June 7th, so 150 days. I know the style is popular. Again, it was probably just a pricing issue why it took so long. They ended up selling for $62. I actually somehow missed to put what I had paid for them, but I'm guessing around $10, which would give me a profit of $43.70. Next is a kids brand that I got via liquidation, and some pieces did much better than others, just like in women's clothing. Like the more substantial pieces do better. The brand is the Simple Folk, and I do believe it has a following because things tended to sell pretty quickly. It was kind of the more basic pieces that I still am sitting on. So this one is the Oversized Denim Pinafore in light wash. I listed it June 5th. It sold June 23rd, so 18 days. It sold for $62, which is great for a kid's dress. I paid $8.50, so that gave me a profit of $45.20. Another one that was very close but didn't quite make the list was a Playsuit from this brand, the Archer Playsuit. It sold in 8 days. It sold at $49 and ended up giving me a profit of $30.70. So something to definitely look out for. This brand does have a following, and the more substantial pieces sell high for kids clothing. Next up is this shoes, the sneakers. They are No Bull brand. These actually were given to me by my brother to sell. He just wasn't wearing them. He did end up removing the original insole and then put in like Dr. Scholl's insoles. So I did disclose that in the listing, and I listed it lower knowing that it didn't have the original insole. These took a little bit of time to sell. Someone had bought them and then said they didn't see the sizing and it wouldn't fit them and canceled, and then another person ended up buying it. So there was kind of a back and forth with these, but I listed it on March 18th. It sold June 3rd, so it took 77 days to sell. It sold at $70. Again, it was donated to me by my brother, so I didn't pay anything. So I ended up with a profit of $56. Let's see. Next is this new with tag beige shirt. The style is Kalinka. It's a cold shoulder shirt, which cold shoulders hasn't really done well for me in the past. I feel like it's definitely not a trendy style and it's a harder sale. This one, I liked that it had the zigzag on the cold shoulder because it made it more interesting and less of like the kind of circular cold shoulder shape. It still did take a while to sell, so I listed this February 10th. It sold May 23rd, so 102 days to sell. It sold on eBay for $70.25, including shipping, and I paid $31.50, so I ended up profiting $25.45. $20 is basically the minimum I'd like to receive profit per item based on the amount of time that goes into each item. So this is just above that, which is good. I definitely would prefer a shorter turnaround time on selling though. Okay, next is this new with tags North Face. It is a raincoat. It's the Rissy 2 style in this light pink color. This one was super cute. I loved the black accent, the black zipper. This one did take a while to sell. I listed it October 25th of 21. It sold May 19th of 22. So it took 206 days to sell. This is one that I relisted, dropped the price slightly, and then it ended up selling rather quickly after that. Maybe I had it priced too high and that's why it sat longer, or maybe it was time of year. Well, that kind of is rainy season for a lot of places, so I'm not quite sure. Probably a pricing issue. It sold at $72. I had paid $26.62. It came via liquidation, so the cost of good was a little bit higher. I ended up making a profit of $29.26. Next are these Papilio. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a kind of subset of Birkenstock. This is the Nemico Wedge slide sandals. I listed it August 2nd. It sold August 15th. So this one just made the cut for the video. It sold in 13 days, which was great. These were in really good condition. The bottoms, I don't know if anyone really wore them. They were in excellent condition. They sold at $72 and I had paid $24.92 at a consignment store, and I made a profit of $37.49. Next up are these new Tory Burch Mini Miller Jelly Sandals in black. These were at a thrift store, kind of in the showcase section, meaning they were marked up because they recognized the brand. I did pay up for them, but I had a history of selling Miller sandals basically same day and for good money. So I looked up comps, decided it was worth what I suspected to be a quick flip, and I was right. These ended up, let's see, sorry, I lost my place. I listed them August 2nd. They sold August 2nd. So they sold in 0 days. They sold for $75. I paid $33.74. So they brought in a profit of $26.26. Now that profit's not huge. It's over my $20 mark, which is a goal. And then it sold same day. So I would definitely do it again. Tory Burch has a following and they tend to sell rather quickly. Miller sandals above other styles. Like as my first, the wedges, those took a long time to sell. Next up is this BCBG Max Osria. It is like a maxi style dress, but basically a gown. It is the Nicole style. It's this really pretty green with these side cutouts that had like a black and white trim. Really pretty. It was worn on, I'd have to look at the description of the listing. I want to say like a Bravo show or something like that. So that was why I wanted to experiment with it. I got it from a boutique store, so I did pay up for it, but I wanted to see how an item like this would do. It took a long time. So I had listed it July 25th of 21 and it sold May 26th of 22. So that's 305 days to sell. Definitely longer than I want any item to take. I did make a profit, so that was great, but man, I don't like things sitting that long. It sold for $80. I paid $20, so I made a profit of $44. Next up was this gorgeous vintage dress. This was an item that I think I got around the same time. So it was one that I wanted to experiment with. I thought it was gorgeous. It was 100% silk. The colors way was just so vibrant and fun that I figured it was worth trying out. The problem is I am not a vintage reseller. I don't really know much about it. I did check comps and think it was worth the gamble. I need to learn more about marketing vintage items, like whether that means modeling them or descriptors, something to maybe get more attention on these items. This one is the longest on the list for time to sell. It took 352 days to sell. It sold for a good amount. It sold for $80, and that meant that I got a profit of $54. Would I do it again? I think I would. I definitely would try to do more research on descriptive words, how to model it or something, just to get it moving quicker, because it on a hanger doesn't really do it justice. Especially, it was so long, I think I wasn't really able to fit it in the full frame of one picture. So it was just, it took a while. It took way longer than it should have to sell. Next up is another Simple Folk item. This one was actually the highest of my whole Simple Folk liquidation bundle. I got 100 items. This is the boiler suit in camel, and it sold full price. It took a little bit longer than other items to sell, so I listed it June 5th. It sold July 12th, so 37 days. Still not bad. A little over a month. It sold for $80. I paid $8.50. So that leaves a profit of $55.50. Yeah, definitely something to look out for is this brand. And then next up, was a pair of mother jeans. They were the Swooner ankle jeans in the colorway Ooh La La. These took a while to sell. I was adamant on the pricing I was trying to get to receive from them. I did get some offers that were just too low. And they also were a small size. I think they were size 25. And I used a Mercari coupon. They had some promotional, like $20 off, and I just wanted to use it. So I couldn't really find any great deals, and I ended up finding this thinking it was an okay deal and I could make a profit. So I purchased it on Mercari for $51.19, including shipping, and I sold it for $85. So I ended up making a profit of $15.09. So in hindsight, this went below my $20 threshold, and it took 147 days to sell. So if I found it at a lower price point, it could be worth it. Otherwise, it was not a great buy. Okay, next up was an item that was donated by family. So these were donated by my dad. They were new with box. It's a brand that has an older following, I guess I should say. So they're like slip resistant, kind of more orthopedic shoes. The brand is SAS. The style was the Guardian shoe. They were the non-slip lace-up style shoes. These took a little bit to sell. I think I had gotten an offer and declined because it was just a low ball. I listed them, let's see, February 23rd, and they sold May 30th. So 96 days. They sold for $85. Retail on these shoes, I believe it was about $200. So they do retail for good money. In terms of value retention, $200 to $85. Not super great, especially with it being new in box and having paperwork and everything and such. Not too bad either. They sold for $85, so I ended up getting a profit of $60.33 since cost of goods was $0. Next up was a liquidation item. So these are some UGG brown short leather boots, and I listed them June 15th. They sold same day, so 0 days to sell, which is great. These were, I think they were in like new condition. I don't think they had ever been, or no, they were in new condition, just new without tags and box is what it was. They sold for $90, and I had paid $11.62, so I made a profit of $58.66. Okay, next up, so this is a bundle, so it's a little bit deceiving the order I put it in, actually, now that I think about it. So it's a bundle of 2 Simple Folk items that sold for $100. So each item did sell for $50 independently. They were listed on Mercari, and the person had messaged me asking if they could bundle for $100, and I agreed. So I just made a separate listing. Let's see. So I had listed them individually on May 30th, and then I made a new listing, sold them as a bundle on June 4th. So 5 days to sell, and sold for $100. I had paid $17 for the 2 items, so $8.50 a piece. And my profit was $65.92 for the 2 items. So this was the Forest Playsuit and the Knit Romper, both in the color Rust. Next up is this new Reformation dress. It's the Style Keys Slit Maxi Dress. I listed it March 22nd. It sold June 1st, so it took a little bit, 71 days. I got this via liquidation, so I paid $18, and it sold for $110, giving me a profit of $70. Next up another liquidation find. This is the Danielle printed midi dress. I listed it on March 14th. It sold August 9th, so it took a while, 148 days. It sold for $110. I paid $9.75, giving me a profit of $78.25. This one, I'm not sure I paid much attention to the attention. It was getting like number of likes, etc. I knew it took longer, or was taking longer than I expected, but I kind of attributed that to just being a higher priced item, and those generally do take longer to sell. But it did end up selling for a good price and made a good profit. Next up is another pair of Tory Burch Miller sandals. These are the leather upper in the colorway Vintage Vachetta, I believe is how you say that. I listed it June 13th. It sold same day, so 0 days to sell, for $124. And these I had taken in some stale inventory that was sitting, and the consignment store purchased those items, and then I used the credit to buy these. So my cost of good I listed as 0 because it was all trade-in credit. I would have to figure out exactly how much the value of the items I traded in was, which I did not do for this video, but I should do that to know what I really made off the item. So it sold for $124, which at a $0 cost of goods profits $107.70. Okay, just 3 more to go. So next one is a Christian Pelisari dress, which was a new to me brand. I received this via liquidation. This one needed some alteration. The lining of the dress was just kind of waist up, and it had been torn. I think probably someone tried to wash it and the washer like ripped it up, or something happened because it was kind of shredded on the lining of the dress. So I did take it to a seamstress and had to replace the lining of the dress. She had forgotten to reattach the brand tag when she did this. So I just listed it as missing the brand tag because I didn't notice until I got home that the brand tag was no longer there. So I listed it in March 22nd. It sold August 5th, so it did take a long time to sell, 136 days. It sold on eBay for $142.75, including shipping. I had paid $9.75, and I profited $98.52. So although it did take a while, it was a good sale. I'm not sure if this, just waiting for the right buyer, is probably why it just took a while. Okay, next are another liquidation find. It is Colby Halprin. They were new with tags. The style was the Tristan printed joggers. These took a little bit to sell. They had retailed for a high amount, and I had listed them for a high amount, and I do think things that are listed higher generally take a little bit longer to sell. Still under that 90-day mark, thankfully. So I listed them March 8th. They sold May 19th, so they took 72 days to sell. They sold at $150. I paid $18 via liquidation, and I profited $102. So that was a great one. Okay, last but not least, this one was such a fun find. This item I found in a consignment store. It was priced rather high, so I waited for items to sit. The longer they sit, they'll start marking them down, 25, then 50%. And then they also have like a reward program, so you get like $20 off if you spend, I want to say every $250 you spend, which is rather easy to do at this consignment store. So I ended up getting this 50% off, and then I used my $20 off for having spent $250 previously. So this is by Double D Ranch. It is a newer style jacket. It is the floral camo stud jacket. I listed it on July 18th. It sold July 20th, so just 2 days, which was great. I think I had it listed about $250 and they sent an offer for $225, which I accepted. I paid with discounts and such, I ended up paying $45.85 for this jacket. So I made a profit of $126.48. If I had purchased this without discounts, let's see, it was originally priced at $150. And then I waited for it to go 50% off, so it was $75, and then I used discounts to get it to $45. If I had purchased it at $150, I do, let's see, $126. I think I don't know if I would have made any money after the 20% off. So this was an item I definitely had to wait for price reduction on, but it was a great find. It sold rather quickly and yielded a high profit. So definitely something I'll be looking out for in the future. And that is all 31 items. I hope you enjoyed. Please bear with me as I get better and more confident in my YouTube videoing. It's still new and kind of intimidating, but I'll get there. And my goal with this channel is to just provide useful information to others as well as learn from you. So thank you for watching and look for more in the future.